Hello, everyone. Today we are going to make a beautiful and very delicious sponge cake with strawberry confit and a delicate cream cheese frosting. I promise this cake will become the star of any of your celebrations. Let's get started. First, let's prepare the strawberry confit. We will need 10.5 ounces, 300 grams of strawberries. Cut the strawberries into pieces. You can use either fresh or frozen ones. The flavor will turn out equally rich. If you have frozen berries, let them thaw slightly so the knife goes through easier. The confit needs to cool down completely before assembling the cake, so it is better to make it in advance. Transfer the chopped strawberries into a saucepan or small pot with a thick bottom. Add 1/2 cup of sugar and immediately 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. Now mix all the ingredients well right in the saucepan so that the starch is evenly distributed. Place the saucepan over medium heat and, stirring constantly, bring the mixture to a thickness. Do not walk far away from the stove. As soon as the mixture starts to heat up, the starch will quickly begin to work, so it is important to stir constantly so that no lumps form and nothing burns. You will notice that in just a few minutes, the mixture will become thick and glossy. This is exactly the consistency we need. Transfer the hot confit into a bowl. Puree the mixture with an immersion blender until completely smooth. A little tip: if after cooling the confit turns out too runny, you can add a little gelatin previously dissolved in water and mix well again. For the second layer, I will prepare another portion of confit using 7 ounces, 200 grams of strawberries and 3.5 ounces, 100 grams of blueberries. The cooking process is absolutely the same, so I will make it off camera. Cover the surface with plastic wrap in contact and put it in the refrigerator until completely cooled. Now let's make a classic sponge cake. Since our cake will be tall, we will need 2 identical sponge cakes, so we just double all the ingredients and bake 2 cakes separately. First thing, sift 4.4 ounces, 125 grams of flour. This simple step helps make the sponge cake fluffier. Crack 5 eggs into a mixer bowl and add 4.4 ounces, 125 grams, of sugar. Now begins the most important stage of making a classic sponge cake. Beat the eggs with sugar on high speed until a very fluffy, almost white foam forms. It should increase in volume several times. Do you know how to check readiness? If you run your finger through the foam, the trail should not disappear immediately. I'm using a stand mixer, but a hand mixer will work great too. Look at what a light and voluminous mixture we got. Now add the sifted flour in 3 additions. Here we do not use the mixer. After each addition, gently fold the flour in with a silicone spatula using smooth motions. It's better not to rush here. Take your time. It's important to preserve the fluffiness here. The more carefully you preserve the air bubbles, the taller the sponge cake will turn out. Pour the batter into the prepared round pan. Send the pan into an oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius for about 30 to 40 minutes. It is very important not to open the oven for the first 30 minutes, otherwise the sponge cake may sink. Check readiness with a wooden skewer. If it comes out dry, it means the sponge cake is completely ready. Let the sponge cake cool slightly in the pan, then gently remove it. Look at how tall, soft, and springy it turned out. Be sure to wrap the completely cooled sponge cake in plastic wrap and put it in the refrigerator for at least a few hours, or better yet, overnight. A few hours have passed, our confit has completely cooled down and thickened beautifully. It's high time to make the cream cheese frosting. Place 14 ounces or 400 grams of cream cheese into a large bowl. Add 1 cup of powdered sugar. Beat with a mixer on medium speed until smooth. Now gradually pour in 6.7 fluid ounces, 200 milliliters, of cold, heavy cream in small portions, continuing to beat on medium speed. Do not add all the cream at once. This way the frosting will turn out more stable, and it will be easier to control its consistency. An important rule: everything must be ice cold. If the cream is warm, the frosting will simply run. Beat on medium speed until stiff peaks form. In just a few minutes, a very delicate, smooth, and stable frosting is formed. Be careful, as soon as the frosting starts to hold its shape, stop. Otherwise, it might turn into butter. Now let's prepare the sponge cakes. Cut each one in half. This can be done with a long knife, but a special cake cutter wire or a serrated knife significantly simplifies the work and allows you to get perfectly even cake layers. Take the first cake layer, lightly soak it with sweet syrup using a pastry brush. The main thing is not to over-wet the sponge cake. It should become a bit juicier but retain its structure. Now apply a layer of frosting. I use a piping bag, but you can spread the frosting with a regular spoon or spatula. Smooth the surface. Make a frosting border along the edge. It'll keep the berry filling inside, and when cutting, the cake will look very neat. Place the strawberry confit in the center. Gently spread the filling. Apply another layer of frosting on top and spread it. Cover with the next cake layer. Repeat all the steps once more. In the second layer, I will add the strawberry and blueberry confit. I really like the combination of these berries. It makes the cake's flavor richer and more interesting. Place the last cake layer on top and only lightly soak it with syrup. Tightly wrap the cake with acetate film or regular plastic wrap. Secure it from the outside with a cake ring. This will help maintain a perfectly even shape during stabilization. Put the cake in the refrigerator for a few hours, or better yet, overnight for stabilization. For the final smoothing, let's make a buttercream. Take 14 ounces, 400 grams, of soft butter at room temperature and beat for a few minutes until white. It should become very light, fluffy, and airy. If the butter collects on the walls of the bowl, stop the mixer and scrape it back with a silicone spatula. Now gradually add 19.4 ounces, 550 grams, of sweetened condensed milk in small portions. It is very important that the condensed milk is at the same room temperature as the butter, otherwise the cream will separate. Continue beating until a completely uniform, smooth, and fluffy consistency is reached. Take the cake out of the refrigerator. It has stabilized perfectly and is now ready for coating. First, apply a thin crumb coat of buttercream. It is also called a crumb coat. This layer secures all the crumbs and allows you to get a perfectly smooth surface. Smooth the cream with a scraper. Put the cake in the refrigerator for about 20 to 30 minutes. Now apply the main layer of buttercream. I like to apply it in stripes using a piping bag and then smooth it out with a long scraper. Don't worry if the surface doesn't turn out perfect on the first try. Even professional pastry chefs smooth a cake in several approaches. After smoothing, put the cake back in the refrigerator for about half an hour. Now for the most pleasant part, decoration. Today, I will decorate the cake with fresh berries and colorful M&M's candies. Such decor looks bright, festive, and children especially like it. But you can use any berries, chocolate, cookies, or leave the cake minimalistic. It will look beautiful either way. Look at what a wonderful cake we got. Tall, even, with a delicate sponge, airy cream, and flavorful berry filling. If you like this recipe, be sure to give it a thumbs up and write in the comments what kind of cakes you love to bake the most. Thank you for baking with me. See you in the next video.